of Z&S for 1st of February 2013. Hello guys, what you're seeing on your screens, what you should be seeing, let me just double check, yep, is a 1 hour graph of the euro dollar. It's very impressive, as you can see. This is just crazy. No, but this is what normally happens on an NFP day. So we shouldn't be surprised. It's just to be on the right side of the market, you know, taste the bear blood, as me and Steven were, you know, chatting up. Okay, so what we held in the euro dollar is basically, and we pointed this out, is halfway, is an extension drawn from anchor 13498. What is important to note is that it's just above the 50% daily short. This is the big short level. If we have to be highly technical, we got this anchor by basically tracking measured move longs. Let me just see where it was. This is what we held, and this is a very awkward extension that we had, basically, which patched up our little halfway backs. Let me just remember from where it was. I wasn't looking at the markets a lot today. Had some errands to run. I think this is it. Yep, it should be like this. This is a bit of an awkward, you know, pull in the strategy. We are gonna thoroughly explain everything tomorrow during the webinar, so you guys can start, you know, having an idea of how we pull the fibs. Let me just get rid of my Metro tweet. There's not much to cover in the euro dollar. Pretty self-explanatory. Held by to the pip, as you know. I've explained that the euro dollar, you know, in the best of times when we started trading and learning this system, used to trade exactly like this. Major reaction off levels. Basically, it's only normal that we get this because the euro dollar took a small breather, as the thing that happened, you know, in my opinion, is that a lot of the retailers, when they, you know, saw the NFP print, they basically started, you know, selling the lows, and this is what you get. They got sucked in. You know, basically the retailers started selling somewhere here. They saw the initial reaction. They started selling over here, and this is what you get. Counter trend. Okay, let's maybe you guys want me to look at something. Do retailers have an impact on the FX market? Of course they do. They're quite a lot. Have in mind that, you know, it's a 13 trillion daily volume of the market, if I'm not mistaken. This does not come only through large banks, etc. You know, the investments. Marcin, what are you typing in the chat, buddy? I don't get your question. Yeah, 1.3 trillion. Yep, you're correct, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm still tired. This week has been extensively. We just had so much work. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, guys, do you have any preferences on what should I cover, or should I just go by the, you know, things I see that are interesting? And do you guys have any point of interest? Because George has been keeping you posted today, pretty much on Euro Yen, USD JPY, pound. You know, is just flat on his face. I don't want to even look at that little bastard. It's been trading awful. Okay, let's go with the. Okay, USD CAD. Yeah, then we'll have a look at that. That's an interesting setup. And the Aussie dollar. Okay, let's go with the Aussie. Aussie also terrible price action, and after that we're going to have a look at the suite setup in USD CAD. Okay, we're pretty much aware of what is going on. Right now we're trading a major support level within the Aussie. At this point, we should start considering that we're in a little range, ranging just above the 50% level of at the 1.037. Well, this is maybe the extension short that we held because we had a major reaction of this level. We're pretty far away from we could consider maybe this anchor as a halfway back. Although this would not be, the anchor that we would normally consider. It will be the one off the top at the larger high, which is this one over here. At this point, Aussie's pretty unclear, but we'll take it, for granted that we have this and that we've traded, this short. Target of the short is at the 03488. What we had in terms of micros and what we were hoping that the Aussie, would give us is because it traded 3 times to this support. Actually, right now it's the 4th, this one, because in the morning we were over here. And what I pointed out in the morning is that we have a confirmed range with a range between the 038.5 and the 048. Aussie dollar very unclear due to the fact that it's not been giving us any hints in the micro time frames, continuously keeping some of the longs, it basically chooses to keep some of the longs. You don't have any proper levels. Just a sec, guys, I have a question on Skype. Simeon, can you please talk to Dr. Zeds? He's asking me if he should resend his user name and password to our email. Okay, Simeon is gonna take care of this. Okay, so what we can identify as a micro, we were hoping that maybe in the morning when we reacted off this level, as you can see, clear 3 touches, we might be able, to break out of the shorts in the Aussie, which we didn't even trade properly, and maybe we would, get a small halfway back, which we would be able to trade. It would be something like this, with a larger high. After that, get some participation. Unfortunately, the Aussie, we can make a case that it's been holding this in the morning. It held this to the pip. As you can see, it also went to target. After that aggressive bid from the downside, we can see that this level was well supported. So we could make a case. Right now it's the 1st of the month. I also noted this in our morning briefing, is that we're ending, basically we're starting the month at a major low, regarding the Aussie dollar, major for this year, for the price action that we have from January going into February. We could see a potential reversal over here, although at the current levels that the Euro Aussie is trading. I don't know if you notice, because I look at a lot of charts on my left hand screen, I have pretty much all of the things trading. The moment the Euro started plunging, some money started going into the pound and also into the Aussie. Basically, it was while the Euro was plunging, we got this bid. This, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is the NFP bid. And the moment the Euro hit the 1.35849 approximately level, we started plunging in the Aussie, which to me signals a major, how should I say it, major battle between these two currencies, basically to contain the sovereign, the sovereign investments of the banks. Where the money is going right now, where the money is allocated. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, so this is pretty much for the Aussie, pretty much untradeable within this range. I would advise you any halfway back, either a clear break of the 61.8% line of the larger long, which comes below 103. 212, or a break of this extension short, at least, the 61.8%. This is what we have right now. We can work with these two levels, confirmed range between these levels. Any 50% retracement over here is not valid. You can work with micros. Some of the micros are sticking, to levels, but to be honest, again, look at it. It's keeping. Can you see how it's keeping the 038? Same. Over here, you got the participation on the NFP bid on this level. We went down, and again we have participation. And to be honest, I cannot see a level, within our system that would be okay. Maybe we're again trading this halfway back, small halfway back, which we traded pre-NFP. To be honest, that's the only thing I'm seeing. Everything else is broken. Okay, let's go to USD CAD. Any questions, Marcin? I'm sorry, buddy. I'm a bit carried away. Is it enough coverage? Okay. Perfect, bro. Perfect. Glad that's all clear. Okay, USD CAD. What we identified. Let me just have a look at my other workspace with the crosses. I want to see where the anchors are. I don't want to go through them again. We have, if we scale back to 1 hour chart. Sorry guys, I just want to have a look at my anchors. Don't want to redraw the whole thing again. What we have on our hands, and what I've seen, we have this short, if I'm not mistaken, which has received participation. Basically, it's a retest of this level. On the long side, we have once traded, gone to target, then you would go into extensions. Extensions fails, and I think we're at the full halfway back over here. Yep. And from here you would take this low with this high, and as you can see, it sticks perfectly the level. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm moving the chart a lot. I just want to see, I would just want you guys to see how perfectly it sticks. On the opposing measured move from the larger short level, we have measured move, traditionals walking away once to target, and you would take this anchor, and this is what is keeping us basically from continuing this move. The target of the short is at 0.9935 approximately. This is, if you want to play this on the short side, this is your entry level. Actually, it was, because it traded once. On the long side, it's a 99574. The long level over here basically stuck perfectly. Within the micros, not so technical. We're gonna go on a 15-minute time frame, so that you guys so that I can identify something for you. Maybe a potential entry for Monday or something or other. Have in mind that I have a rule that I don't trade after the European close on Fridays, which is approximately 17 minutes away. It's basically the 11:30 New York time frame is at the time where everything stops, liquidity drops. It's only the Americans, which by now have placed all their orders, took profit, and did whatever they had to do going into the weekend. Okay, yeah, so on the 15-minute time frame, we had micro measured moves, which, to be honest, broke. Not the prettiest of sights. Of course, your entry is over here. Um, as you can see, we've broken again this long, but what I, basically can see, the first 50% that we stuck to is drawn from the 99577 to the 99897 over here. This, and as you can see, it's the first time that we reacted out this level, came down, we saw clear participation, went up to target, tried to bust through the short. At that point, we couldn't do it. We traded back down, and this anchor is getting respected. So the 99750 is basically something that you would consider. And whatever happens within the micros for now, unfortunately, it's a Friday, will be happening from this level. Really, to be honest, not the best of, trading within the halfway back system over here on a micro time frame. Larger time frame looks really solid. I think Zen is in this trade, if I'm not mistaken. Melinda, you will get a password. Simeon, Melinda, please, can you please go into the chat? Can you please walk her through the sign-up process? We still don't have an automated, system where you directly get your password and username. Simeon is gonna walk you through it, Melinda. Yes. Also, George just told me. Can you please just follow Z&S Signals? That's the Twitter handle. Let me just. Okay, Simeon is gonna walk you through the whole process. Yep. Simeon is gonna walk you through the whole process. You're gonna give us a username and a password of your desire, and we're gonna set it up. Okay. Going back to the USD CAD, is pretty much everything clear. Really solid levels. We're getting a bid right now over there. Really good trading in terms of larger levels. Tracking the shorts pretty easy. Two halfway backs off the top. Basically off the reaction of this big level. If you want me, I'll draw this one again. Anchors are for the short, for the first short that traded perfectly to the 50% over here, is a 1.01 approximately, and the lower anchor is 1.00007. Of course, this is approximately. You can just put it as just the 1.0 almost, just below the 1.001. Okay, guys, is this clear? Is this sufficient? Zen, I'm sure this is what you've looked at, buddy. Does this satisfy you as analysis? Do you want me to amplify? Do you have any particular questions regarding this? For that matter, anyone else in the chat? You like it? I like it also, bro. I will participate with you somewhere as long as I find the level. By the way, thank you for pointing out this setup. Okay. Any of you other people in the chat, any questions regarding this, or should we move on? George just told me that we're trading the second or the first? The first potential reversal zone for the euro yen. I personally wouldn't, stand in front of that thing, even if they paid me to. This thing is pretty much vertical at this point. You have, in terms of candle analysis on the 15-minute chart, what I can see is basically a doji at the 125 level. And after that, you have three white soldiers almost walking away from this. I wouldn't step in front of it, to be honest. Yeah, neither would George until he's sober. Could get another idea during the weekend. Markets are closed then. Okay, joke aside, not funny for him. For me, it is. Okay, let's go maybe have a look at Euro GBP, which got an amazing reaction off the level. Okay, what we have in the Euro GBP, and what we should. Simeon, stop screaming, please. And what we should be looking at. Just a second, guys. I don't want to redraw everything. Anchor is this. I haven't identified it earlier. I've been tracking this. I have not been sharing it because I have not seen interest in it. This is the 61.8% line of a larger short, which did not see any participation. Very interesting for me. I was hoping to see a little bit, participation on the short side. Unfortunately, not. What happened here is similar to the yen crosses, where we, basically thought that we have reached targets, but actually algos didn't, take profit over here supposedly. Then what we had was a failed halfway back. At this point, I was thinking that this pair is basically topping, is going to go for a full halfway back because we broke the 61% line. But last night I was looking at it at home and thought that I've seen this setup way too often happen in other pairs. So what I did is basically I took this high, before reaching the target, and placed it on the same anchor on the high instead of this one. I used this high, and as you can see, we held the 61.8% line perfectly over here to the pip, and reaction was, what you would, like what you normally see in your dreams. This is what you would normally like to see out of every, 50%. Like, this was very sweet. At this point, if we go to a larger time frame, maybe a 4-hour, 15-minute time frame is pretty clear. I'll go back in a bit so you guys can see the anchors, but I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to see them on a 4-hour graph. Yeah, just look at the 4-hour candle. This is just ridiculous. This is what you normally have on NFP. If we zoom out a bit, this is the level that I was considering, this short, but this is, just gone through the window. Let me see. I don't think that I have all the price data from here. Okay, 1st of January 2011. This doesn't work for me. Let me just quickly see on TOS what's the deal. They have a lot of price data available. As you know, I've mentioned this a lot of times. Whenever I have insufficient price data, I go back and look at TOS. Of course, what we need here is a daily 5-year chart. I think would do the job. Yep. At this point, this is the drawing that does not give us much of an idea, as where potential resistance would be. So we would expect to see potential resistance like this. To be honest, these are the two clear. This is like a classical, traditional, nothing hard to it. High to low, expecting, resistance level, maybe at the 087, 775. I know that, this is basically, let me have a look at it. I'm not doing this properly. Yeah, actually, I've been a blind person. This is a short which has been trading multiple times. Okay, so this we didn't go to target, so maybe we could have a retest of the 0.89. Okay, guys, I will have a deeper look into this. I promise you, I will put up a report on the site over the weekend. This is beginning to be an interesting setup, as the pound is not showing us much, signs of life in it. We might be in for a deeper correction on the pound, although the short levels are not very good. Levels to keep an eye on in Euro GBP are the 0.89, the 0.89 actually, and the 0.877 for now. This is, near-term resistance for now. We will see if we get participation over here. Okay. One last thing I want just to draw up. Yep. This is what's been bothering me. The first time that this traded, basically it broke over here. After that, it got respected. Strange. Large time frame, only normal. Yeah, but this is how the 15-minute time frame looks. Let me just get back to it so you guys see the anchors, the entries that we got. Perfect, to be honest. Perfect entries. Yep. Anchor that you draw this extension from the 0.858. Amazing reaction, to be honest. Next support is this. Of course, have in mind it's a Friday. Even if we trade to it, I wouldn't take it, we're for sure going to see a gap somewhere over here. Depends what level we keep. Any questions regarding what I've just said on your GBP, guys? Melinda, you didn't get it? Melinda, you are a subscriber. I don't know, are you, or are you talking about the email? Okay, let me just, guys, mute you for a second. I just want to talk to Simeon real quick. Okay, Melinda, Simeon is gonna deal with all the problems that you have, I promise you, but the next 20 minutes you're gonna have an account. Okay, guys, questions regarding Euro GBP? Marcin? Questions regarding this, buddy? Are you still in? Or are you left? I don't know. Oh, you're still here? Okay, seems nobody has questions regarding this. Okay, guys, what would you like to see? What other things would you like me to cover? Um, please answer when I'm asking. I want us to be helpful to you guys. I want to give you ideas about the setups that you're eyeballing. Clear them up. Aussie NZD. Okay, Melinda, we're gonna have a look at it. We have not been trading it, to be honest. I don't have it as an instrument, but we're gonna have a look at it. We are gonna have to start from scratch over here. Just waiting for the chart to backfill. Maybe have a sip of my coffee while waiting. Yeah, strange. Wasn't expecting this. Nothing. Aussie NZD just plunging to the downside. Okay. The Aussie Kiwi for our chart. What we have is an almost broken. We could consider at this point that this traditional is valid. Or we could make this. Yep. Very strange. We see a reaction off of this level. We could argue that this is basically, a traditional from high to low. We could argue that this level, for some reason, has been respected. If we draw, this traditional, you could also make an argument that the 61.8% line has been respected over here. Despite the fact that we have, dipped into it. Have in mind this is a large time frame. Also have in mind that we have not kept any longs after participating on the short side. What you see is a clear failure of longs. They tried getting respected a couple of times. Unfortunately, terrible failures. Let's stick to the anchor where we actually don't dip into the 61.8% line. If we make a case for this on a 4-hour chart, you can see your target is the minus 23.6% line. It's 121. Melinda, have in mind that I am talking right now on the top of my head for this thing. Making the analysis as we go through the webinar. If you have a query regarding a particular instrument, don't hesitate to write us an email. We will do it for you and we will put it on the site. Okay. Let's go a little bit deeper into this. Maybe identify levels of participation. Pre-NFP. Okay, we have this anchor to work with. Not the best of, that's why we stay out of some of the crosses. Very unclear, regarding the system that we use. Other systems probably are great over here. Ours not that good. Um, Let me just work a bit. Let me see possible anchors that we have held. What would have signaled this move to the downside is this, you know, you've had basically take this traditional participation double test at the 1254 level, clear rejection of this level. After that, basically making shorts free 2 times of this level. Also, no participation on the long side, absolutely zero, to be honest. This, as far as I can see, we will pull into an extent. This is a very aggressive move. Um, what we should, normally, what we would expect to see, and what we should keep. I'll drag back to a 1-hour chart because I don't see any levels of participation that we could have held here. For our chart is not telling me anything. Okay. First level of participation. From here, possible same anchor, no. From here, you trade a traditional. Okay, Melinda, you know what? Let me work on this. I promise I will get back to you with the proper retracements. I don't want to do this in this manner because I am going to overlook levels, and this is not the analysis that you want to be handed as a paying subscriber. So I'm writing this down over here to post a report on it. We will have a look at it thoroughly, I promise you. Let me just of course, we talked before that about the USD CAD. Before that, and we're gonna post these 2 reports on the site. This is something that we're gonna do just after tomorrow's webinar. However, you can be certain that right now on this down path, we're probably going to this level. We will have somewhere, a pullback to get into this move if you're not already in. But the 121, the 1.215 level looks as a good enough target for this move. Have in mind we have broken previous lows, so there is no analogy to this thing where it's going. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I'm a bit slow. End of the week. It doesn't matter. Any more questions? Anything particular you would like me to have a look at? Something of the instruments that we. Gold untradeable. I'm not even looking at it right now, to be honest. It's been getting on my nerves. Marcin, I see you typing, bro. We're just gonna wait for you. Would you say? Yes, would I say? Listening very carefully. Actually looking. The gold right now is in a QE expectation. Yeah, okay, let's have a look at gold, Marcin. Let's have a look at it. I would say that it had some reactionary trades which pretty much scrambled the price action for us this week. Before that, I don't know if you remember, it was trading perfectly to the anchors that we were pointing out. Gold, if it had something to anticipate, basically discount is more QE. If the funds decided, we would have seen a serious move in gold. Something that we should point out is that it has been breaking its long setups and still going, a bit to the upside. So this is a point of concern. This is something that we should note. Okay, 1 hour chart of gold is what you're seeing on your charts. This is the move that we broke, basically. Okay, so this is a major resistance point at the 1629 level. Over here, as you can see, it has been broken. This was accomplished the moment we traded halfway back short from the 1754 to this 21635. This is how you draw it. This is your first point of entry. Let me just zoom in a bit over here. As you can see, this short has been retested. Right now it's again, made the shorts riskless. We were tracking this series. And do you guys remember yesterday when I spoke about gold, I pointed out that when we did not trade this halfway back traditional. Do you remember this? I don't know if you remember this yesterday. What we talked about was that we had a series over here which we traded from the 1695. We had 2 traditionals, 2 entry points over here, and after that the series got a bit funny and we couldn't trade it. You remember that? At this point, I told you guys that we should come back for a traditional. This was my opinion, but instead we traded down an awkward traditionals, if I'm not mistaken. This was the reactionary move of the GDP print, and as you can see today, this was the reactionary move of the NFP, and check where we got our short participation. Tested twice, kept twice. 1680. Right now, this is the only thing we have to work with in gold. So Marcin, if there is something QE related, if they're discounting anything, towards the long side, we would like them to point the road to us. Right now, gold is, ranging. Not a good play, to be honest. Valid entries are, these longs that we pointed out in the counter-measured move. We're tracking this, and of course the short side. The 2 short entries are the safe plays over here. Within the range, I would not advise you guys to participate. Plenty of other amazing trends out there in the currency market. Gold, not one of them. Let me just quickly go back to the screen. Any questions? Okay, Stephen, thank you very much for participating, hanging out with us. Stephen is a very good trader. He's a friend of ours. Thank you for being over here. Thank you for the discussions we've been having. Marcin, nope means no more questions, I presume. Cool, mate. Hope I'm not boring you to death. Anything else, guys, you would like me to cover? It's a Friday, so we could, drag this thing a little bit longer. Any particular setups that you guys would like to see? In the end, if we don't have any more setups, I'm gonna start recording. and we can talk about, more pleasurable things, or, just discuss, you anything you guys want. What George just let me know is that he booked his swing on the euro dollar. That's a netted 400, 200, 420 pips. Um, Unfortunately, not the leverage that we're normally used to. We are short the euro yen. Um, Actually, he's short the euro yen. It's not we for now. Okay, guys. Any more questions before I cut the recording? Any other things you guys want me to cover? Let me just look through my setups if there is something interesting to show you. GBP, JPY, not a good trade. Not a good trade. Looking to the short side. Okay, not gonna cover that one for sure. We could have a look at Euro Aussie, just to fill in some. Where's George shirt the EJ? What he just told me is pretty much here. With a 15 pip stop. Melinda, what we're just saying is to let you guys know what we're doing. We're not directly putting out that as a signal. This is a trade that George just took off a profit target. I don't know. He posted it as a signal. Yes, what George is saying that if you go on the if you go on our site, if you have a look at Euro JPY, the report, there is a very big Gartley pattern, which explains that over here there is a potential reversal zone. I will just briefly give you George to explain this, and maybe after that we're going to conclude the recording.
I just want to point out that the maximum leverage that you should use on this trade at the moment, because this is top picking usually don't works, even if it is a 15 pip stop, you should maximum use of leverage 2 to 1 to your account. So if your account is $5,000, you should not use over 10,000 or 0.1 lot. So that is one mini lot for this trade. This is very important. Seriously, guys, this is top picking. We have not confirmed this. I just took the trade because this is how you trade Gartleys. Like I have a fixed way of taking a strategy. Now, the way I trade is only as good as my discipline. So, like, I have to do things the way that I have planned. So, if your account is $5,000, you need to take this short only with 10,000. Maximum leverage permitted on this trade is 2 to 1. Now, if we become riskless and if we start breaking extension shorts into next week, we can add to this position. There is no rush, guys. There's no rush. If this is indeed the shark and if this will indeed give us the halfway back one, we have so much downside in front of us. So much downside in front of us. Okay, guys. So seriously, maximum 2 to 1 to your account side. So that means if your account size is $2,000, you should not short with more than 4K. Even if it's a 15 pip stop loss, guys. Seriously, please listen to me when I'm saying this. Only 2 to 1, only 2 to 1 leverage permitted on this trade, despite the small stop loss.
Okay, guys, you just heard our little strategist genius in the office. What he's talking about, the euro yen. If there are no more questions, I will conclude the webinar. Deck. Okay. He is asking, Deck, are you in the? Yeah, you're here, buddy. Okay. Let's go through USD JPY for you. Waiting for the chart to backfill. If you have entered your JPY through our entry, now is the time to book it, to book half, right, George? Make it riskless. 126.5 is the level you should take half of the position off. Okay. Now that we have that out of the way. Okay, Deck, let's talk about USD-JPY, one of the sweet setups that we had and that we played. What you're seeing is a 1 hour chart of USD-JPY. We've been talking about this pretty much, from the start of the site, but the setup that initiated us talking about this is over here. This is the first traditional, it's an extension, I'm sorry. George considers this to be a traditional. I consider it to be an extension. Doesn't matter, to be honest, in the end of the day, as long as levels stick. Matters for a point of argument between me and him, as we do have our little differences. Doesn't matter. What you have is an 86652 extension, which traded to the pip the first time over here. As you can see, almost went to target. At this point, we were not, we did not know if this thing went to target. The moment it traded down over here, and we dragged basically this thing over here. You can make a case that again it's for the 69% line, but what I personally loved about this trade was that it kept the 50%. So at this point, we knew that whatever happens within this trade, very similar to Euro JPY and to the Euro GBP trade that we had today, you draw the 89, use the 89.695 anchor to highs at the 91.245, and then you receive basically your participation of this level. What we had today and what we kept in the yen, if I'm not mistaken, you had this traditional, which traded also to the pip, held basically, went to target also, pretty good reaction off of it. This was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 31st of January. So your anchor would be the 90. Would be the 91.405. As you can see, pretty good reaction of the level. Let me just zoom in a bit so you can see it. Right now, to target. This is the series that traded. I know it's a bit awkward, but this is what happens when moves get overextended. When you have such overextended move, always nice to move to to a larger time frame chart, a bit more than the 15-minute. Of course, I am used to looking at the 15-minute charts, so I use them in time. You'll learn to use them also. Identify levels easily on the 15-minute chart. But yeah, this is the FOMC reaction that we had. What made me convinced over here and what made us trade this halfway back over here is that we saw this pretty good reaction off of this level. Doesn't matter that we traded back into it. We got stopped out. Me personally, on my personal account, I got stopped out because I wanted to basically play this 50% over here, but it traded down here. And I think I covered this in the morning briefing, if I'm not mistaken. I have to have a look at it. I thought that it was better than to type up gold and all the other subs. But yeah, your anchor for today's move was 91.405 to the high of the 92. This was our morning high. As you see right now, we're to target, and we blew past away a bit. As you can see, we're you can actually make a case that we're holding this extension, seeing some participation off of it. Of course, Europe has closed, as you can see, price moving very slowly. Actually, it's not moving that slow at all. It's trying to make me look silly. Let's move to a 15-minute time frame. Let's zoom in a bit, see what's going on. Okay. Let me just get rid of these things so you guys don't get confused. You could say that it's a hold. I might consider it a hold. Of course, unfortunately it's sailed away. Whenever you have such a thing and you've missed the move, don't chase. Just observe. Actually, 15-minute graph. Actually, this is a break. So what we would expect from here, countermeasured moves to take us to the downside. Let's zoom in a bit. To take us to the downside, potential sell point in the in the USD JPY is 92.533. This is where you would expect to see resistance, and this is what we would expect to take us down. Our next major long level in USD JPY that we would consider next week, and if we get this, I'm going to play it for sure, is a 92.050. Let me see if I'm drawing this correctly. Yep, 91.405. Could redraw this a bit to make it a bit more accurate. 91.409 to the high at the 92.653. If we don't blow, past, this high right now, we've identified this extension, probably broken. We will keep an eye on it. Always keep an eye on the countermeasured move and what it is doing. Always keep macros very difficult. Seeing a bit in the yen. This is just silly. Okay, we're potential resistance. We might, we're gonna see if this extension is broken. At this point, this move is very overextended. I would not advise you guys to trade this. I personally would be stopped out of this move if I played it, because man, you cannot be serious. Because my stop loss would be, I would not give it a very large margin of error. Okay, seeing some participation at the 92.534. Actually, none. This is just crazy. I cannot believe this. This is a valid move that you will have to be honest. Let me redraw this. Maybe we're making a mistake. Interesting. Okay, we'll see how this plays out. Deck, I pretty much covered everything. Is this yeah, I told you, buddy, it's a bit late in the day. Pretty decent week if if I have to say so. Actually, great week, to be honest. Made some cash, so give yourself a rest, bro. I'm sure you booked some profits this week. Now, look, Deck. Normally, what I have to say is that okay, this thing seems it wants to go higher. This is just silly at this point. What I have to say is that in the more volatile instruments, you could, for instance, the Aussie dollar or JPY cross in general, you could make a case that this is a hold basically because your candle opens up within above the 61.8% line. This comes with a lot of screen time. Depends also what sort of a trader you are. Of course, we could make a case, that it's not trading this, that algos don't attach themselves to this. They have directly, put the larger anchor up at the 92,653. They're waiting the 50% level, and at this point, they're just, being cheeky, and they want to see if they can push this thing higher. If we go into the micros, and if we start having a look at what's going on, micro time frame, this would be a hold over here. You would consider this a hold, trade it to the front run, basically. And basically what happens from here is you get extensions. I have to scale down to a smaller time frame in order to be able to identify this. Let's make an effort. 5-minute chart. Okay, this thing just blew through support, through resistance. Let's see if we can identify what this thing traded. Okay, so this is what it traded first. Goes to target. This is so bullish that I don't know if we can even identify on a 5-minute trend, to be honest. What I can clearly see, we're not even seeing that properly, is a hold over here. And what you could make a case for is this resistance is pretty much gone, and the deck we could make a case that right now the yen is trading a micro extension long, same anchor new high drawn from a 90 to 210. Of course, I don't scale back to such small time frames. This is a time frame that a nut job scalper would use to identify moves and trade at what I would identify as a scandalous leverage in order to get the first 10 to 15 pips. Yep, this is pretty much it. Okay, George wants me to say something. Can you guys just assist us? We had some problems today, for which we apologize. Can you open the link that we posted? Can you please, guys, have a look if you can open the link? No problem. Can you guys access your accounts? Actually, let me see if I can do it also. I am personally having problems. Okay, I hope that the guys that hacked our host are gonna get their hands chopped off, beaten with a stick, all the nasty things that you can think of. Okay, maybe it's something just froze for me. Declan is also having problems, guys. Zen still loading. We're getting popular. Let's hope that's the reason, bro. Let's hope that's the reason. Okay, I am gonna cut it here. This is enough for our daily webinar.